rainy day departure from Burbank to Sacramento. I've done rainy day before. This looks a little bit, yeah, it's a bit rougher than I'm used to, but no big deal. We'll go ahead and get this thing going, and hopefully I can make it to Sacramento without too much concern. So let me get my PFD going so that I can do something with it outside of a flight sim. I got the G1000 here from Real Sim Gear, and so it's wonderful. First of all, it really increases the realism of this simulator, and it looks like let's go rescan. Looks like it's not picking it up, so hopefully it does here in a second. If not, it's a real simple fix. Pull out the USB, plug it back in, and go ahead and give it a rescan. And hopefully we can get this guy picked up. Apparently not. There we go. Okay, so that's running. So this is the one that I put on there. So let me go ahead and get that put on there, and we're ready to go. So, okay, I've already started my checklist here. So fuel selectors are both on. Parking brake is set down there, as you can see. Power level is set to idle. Let's go ahead and get you down. We're going to need you down. All avionics and battery are off. Flaps are in the up position. So let's go ahead and set the prop. I need to move my, hang on, let me reset my IR. It's kind of weird. I'm having to look way down there. Let's try that. Nope. Maybe up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's go here for you. Yep. And fuel shut off is open, and let's go ahead and get going. So turn on battery, and let's do both avionics. Check our fuel quantity. Looking good. That's what we put in. Flight controls free and correct ish. Okay, good there. Let's go ahead and start ATS so that we can get this stupid altimeter set and going. And while that is going, I'm going to start looking at the flight. As you know, flight level, I'm sorry, not flight level, 29902, very cool. As you well know, the flight planning in here is super jacked up. But still, I just want to see that my one that all of my waypoints, and hopefully I can do this without killing it, show up. Okay, there's Verona. That's the one I care about because that's our approach. This ICI, CCR, that's down there in Concord. And these are all on the way. Pixin, Ave. Yep, looking good. See, now it's going to start screwing up. So, nope, let's get out of there. Exit. Get out. Oh, God, I hate this program. Seriously, it is the worst thing ever. Okay, so get out of flight planning. So that's looking good. Let's go ahead, and we're talking to clearance delivery. So let's go ahead and get clearance delivery going so that we can
clearance delivery Arden Air 1710
get radio
ready
set.
to copy IFR clearance to Capital.
Okay.
Arden Air 1710 is cleared to Capital Airport.
Can't see it. There we go.
Runway
Okay, cool.
15 climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Departure frequency
He
is
said 15. 7,000.
Arden Air 1710 cleared to Capital Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 15 climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Departure on 124.6 squawk 6325. Arden Air 1710 read back correct. Contact ground on 123.9er.
Okay, we'll do. Okay, so as you can see here, I've got set for 7,000. I've got the runway heading of 15 input into the computer. So let's go ahead and continue with our checklist. So let's see, that's done, and transponder set. Okay, ignition is set to normal, power levels continues to be idle, and RPMs are at max. Now let's go ahead, and battery switch is on, beacon is on, avionics on, propeller clear. Hey, idiots. Yeah, well, they're just going to stay there. So let's go ahead and power is they say idle's way up here. Yeah, seriously, not really. Until they fix this particular plane. But let's go ahead and get you going. And set that guy again. Fuel shutoff valve continues open. Fuel boost. Let's go ahead and turn that on. And starter on. We'll give that guy a second to get going. Okay. Trim is set. Bring that back down to idle. Okay, let's turn our starter off. Oil pressure checks. Yep, in the green. And in the green. And everything is in the green. Now, of course, you see, I'm sure you can see. I'll zoom in here. That is a huge problem, but until they fix it, it's been just kind of what we have to deal with. They are, the developers are still working on it, so hoping it gets resolved fairly quickly. So the next things, none of these are working. They really are just for me. So, okay, and everything is answered. There's nothing outstanding. So, we took a look. We are ready to go. Our approach is in there for 17 left via Verona. So, as long as we get that approach when we get to Sacramento, we'll be good. Taxi light is on. Heading bug is set. Flight instruments all check out. Radios are all set. Avionics are set. Autopilot is set as it needs to be right now. And it is off. And let's go ahead and get some taxi clearance.
Bank ground Arden Air 1710 with Golf ready to taxi IFR. Arden Air 1710 taxi to an hold short of runway 15 via taxiway Alpha Delta. Contact tower on 118.7 when ready.
Okay, tower is 1187, so acknowledge that clearance.
Taxi to and hold short runway 15 using taxiway Alpha Delta Arden Air 1710.
118.7. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll tune up tower. Boom. Okay, so we have clearance, and we'll do run up along the way. So let's go ahead and get going. Hey guys, hey stupid guys, get out of the way. Yeah, they are super not listening to me. So this is Alpha right here. And Delta. Okay, and let's brakes. Cool. I'm actually a little I'm actually a little scared. This is kind of my it's raining a little harder than on previous flights, and not that I'm not super worried about it, but at the same time I kind of am. I mean, I want to have a really good flight. Love having a good flight, and I love this plane. This is a wonderful plane. It's been really good to me. Toughest thing that I have is making sure that I stay on takeoff, holding that runway heading. It's a little bit difficult for me, and I honestly I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue why. It doesn't make sense. Fly runway heading. Duh. Well, it's kind of tough. Okay, what is the wind doing? Because that was super crazy. Yeah, I'm going to the end here. Well, good news from what it feels like. It looks like I'm going to have a tailwind, but the truth is, you can see the wind looks like it's coming over here. If we look, it looks like it's coming from right here. Looks like it's coming from the east. Okay, so a little bit of apprehension. I'm a little wigged. No. Sorry. I keep screwing around with the simulator. Yeah, I'm going all the way. I might need all the runway. And I'm sorry if the track IR is a little bit distracting. If it is, I understand. But at the same time, it's amazing. So it's super wonderful for me. Probably not so much for you, particularly when I'm doing things like reaching across to check on my, or to set the parking brake, all that sort of thing. So fuel quantity still good. Looks like they're draining equally. Power level, or prop RPM, sorry, max. Elevator trim, set that on the way. Still looks good. Go a little bit more just because we got that wind. Condition full, full. Flaps set. Flight controls are still free and correct. Okay, all no messages I need to address. Radios are all set. Avionics are set. We're going to turn our landing light on and make sure our strobe is on. Good. Let's go ahead and turn on some heat. That looks a little distracting. Let's get out of here for just a second. Let's go ahead and get you turned on. Okay, and let's get clearance.
Burbank Tower Arden Air 1710 ready to go runway 15 IFR to Capital. Arden Air 1710 cleared for takeoff runway 15.
And thank you.
For takeoff runway 15 Arden Air 1710.
Let's see, I think, gotta find my list here. I think SoCal departure is 124.6, so let me get 124.6 queued up. Okay, so alrighty, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Okay, so here I think I'm going to shoot for probably 1900 RPM on this one. You know, just to be super sure. Okay, good. God bless them. Oh shit. Shoot. Okay, rotate. Okay, we got a positive rate of climb. So flaps are up. Let's trim for climb. Okay, we're trimmed for climb. Let's go ahead and get autopilot on and FLC engaged. Okay, flight director on, nav set, and 106 is good. Okay, we got that queued up already, so we're gonna go to 124.6 and
going to 124.6 Arden Air 1710.
Oh crap, I had it queued up.
SoCal departure Arden Air 1710 is at 1,500 feet, climbing 7,000 feet.
Okay, and they're gonna send us to LA Center.
SoCal departure. Continue as planned. Altimeter
299 or 2, excellent. SoCal departure on 125.8. Okay, we rotated at 76. Our speed here is 105. Flaps were up at above 300. No issues on any of our panels, and flight instruments still check. Okay, we're on our climb. Autopilot was engaged. Our climbing power is set, and landing light is off. Okay. Once we reach cruise altitude, we'll go ahead and revisit the checklist. For now, let's just watch. I think we're set for 7,000. We're just waiting for further instruction and go from there. We are headed. We'll be headed out here in just a few minutes. Got about 2.7 nautical miles to go for that next waypoint, and then. And I think the first one is, what is it, Tellin? And then we'll go ahead and work on Sacramento. The minimum of Sacramento's 227. So we'll stick that in here. We can do that now. Not doing anything other than ensuring we get out of here in correctly. Okay, everything's looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Not real happy with torque, but for now we'll just allow that. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay, so SAC. Okay, cool. Okay. Our cruising altitude is 14,000 feet today. So as soon as they hand me over, we'll go ahead and yep, we are headed towards Tiller, as you can see here. 17 nautical miles to Tiller. We'll be coming up on our flight level here in a few minutes, and hopefully they'll send us over to SoCal departure and I'm sorry, not SoCal departure, LA Center, and then we can get going.
You are 15 miles west. Climb and maintain 5,400 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 15 approach.
Air 1710 climb and maintain 12,000 feet.
Okay, there we go. We got our climb and maintain 12,000 feet.
5,400 feet. Expect vectors. Visual runway 15.
So as soon as they...
Climb and maintain 12,000 feet, Arden Air 1710.
Okay. Okay, and so we'll get back into a climb here for 12,000. I thought it was 14,000 was our selected altitude but you know, I didn't write it down from the flight plan because this thing doesn't really care about flight plans much anymore. So kind of tough. I hope they fix that soon because programming the flight computer is a neat thing. So 11175 is the localizer for Sacramento. So 111 and 75. So got the localizer in there. I know it's a long time, but still.
Climb and maintain 5,400 feet. Skywest 34909er.
It actually does have an impact. Lowers the torque. Truth is, when I selected 14,000 or 12,000 for the altitude, but I thought it was 14,000. When I selected the altitude, I did change it to 14,000. Huh. I wonder why I got 12,000. I'm gonna have to look at that when I go back, or for next trip. Because I don't know why I selected 14,000. I just know that I did. Anyway, long story short, I just said something that caused one of the dials to move, and I don't know which one it was. You see it? Mixture went rich again. Look at what I did to torque. All because I said something. And there we go. See it, the needle going back down? So what I've noticed is when talking, there are certain phrases that cause the sim to make changes. So I don't know if it's voice enabled. I certainly have not tried voice enabling. So here we go for Los Angeles Center, and I already have it programmed in, so thank you. And going to switch over now, and LA Center.
Los Angeles Center, Arden Air 1710 is at 10,700 feet, climbing 12,000 feet.
Arden Air 1710 Los Angeles Center. Continue to TILLR as planned. Altimeter 29.902.
And I think our altimeter is good. Yep, 2992. So just keep the climb going. That is beautiful. So my system is on high. I can't. Ultra would it kills my video card. I've got the MSI what is it, the RTX 2060, with 6 gigs of RAM. Now my system has 64 gigs of RAM. It's an AMD. What is the 7 chip? Whatever it's called. There we go. Climb and maintain 14,000. Cool. Thank you. I thought I had it, but you know, is what it is. Okay, and we're going back to SoCal. So I've done this trip a few times, and finally I decided, hey, I'm going to write the frequencies down so that I don't have to, so I can get it, obviously, get ahead of them handing me off. The one thing I can't figure out on this guy yet, and I don't know if it's just because my PFC is not, or PFD, the flight display is not complete yet. Yep, got it. Oh, app, I didn't acknowledge.
125.8 Arden Air 1710.
Okay, let's get back to LA Center.
Los Angeles Center Arden Air 1710 is at 12.
Okay, then I think we're going to go to 135.5. So what I was saying is, I can't get the COM2 working. I can't get it to switch over, which is kind of weird. So let's go to 135.5. 135.5.
125.2 for Skywest 3309er.
So I believe that's going to be my next COM frequency, and then 1271, but we'll see. Pretty neato mosquito. So you see how the clouds look at high. I mean, they're not great, and I'm okay with that. I might go up to 3080, but as I understand it, they may be having some issues with those. People are reporting crash to desktops on the 3080s, and while I would love to be able to turn on Ultra, I'm not feeling crashing to desktop. I am one of those people who has, since the beginning, really had a great time with Flight Simulator. It has not. I've had like very few issues, and any issues that I have had have been my issues. They're not issues with the simulator itself. It was just something that I did. The major issue, and they're working on it right now, the major issue is still with like the flight systems. Flight planning is crap. You can't do any kind of flight planning in here. If I go in and I change any leg of this flight, it's gonna die. It's just gonna either crash to desktop, or the flight plan is just gonna get blown away, and I'm just sort of flying around aimlessly. So that's the toughest part, that you really can't do anything yet with flight planning specifically. But otherwise, for me, it's been great. Like, people are reporting that the mixture doesn't do anything, but for me, I'm finding that it actually does. People are reporting that they're having problems with ILS approaches and landings. For the most part, they work for me. I did want to try something because I saw from, I forget who it was. It wasn't Gripper Sim. It was someone else. But anyway, one of the sim channels, they were showing how in, I think it was the TBM, you could in fact address that. So what happens is when you're coming in and you're planning on, or say you're coming in for approach, and let's say you've just passed a waypoint, and they give you a new approach vector. You have to
135.5 for Arden Air 1710.
you have to enter that in the flight computer because it's not the one you planned on.
Los Angeles Center Arden Air
Well,
1710.
that was 135.5, 127.1,
Arden Air 1710.
2992.
Continue to BRRK.
So let's say you put the new waypoint in, or the new vectors for approach. Your airplane is going to turn around and go back to that last waypoint that you passed, and it's going to try and refly it. Well, this guy, and I may have to look it up while I'm still here. He figured out how to get around that on that particular model, the TBM, by going into your flight plan and then adding in a new point. But unfortunately, there's no way that I want to try that here. So what you would do is, once you see, I don't even want to like move any of these down, because for fear that I'm going to delete it. I mean, honestly, I have a real fear that I will delete my flight plan if I go in there. So it's not even worth it. Far too buggy to deal with right now, at least on this flight. Maybe next flight when I'm just screwing around. This is the one I really want to get from Burbank to Sacramento. So I'm gonna do it here. But anyway, inserting a new destination here, and then voila, it won't do the loop back around on your approach to go pick up the approach. And it worked for him, so I really want to try it, but I'm certainly not going to try it here. I'll try it, going from one Sacramento airport to the other. Something, it takes 15 minutes from Oakland to Sacramento, perhaps, but certainly not from Burbank.
Altimeter 29.902. Southwest 1060, contact Los Angeles Center on 125.8.
Because I hate losing. Oh, I lost a flight. Actually, I lost 2 flights in a row for that very thing. I was coming in from Vegas to Burbank, and they gave me my flight plan had me going. I think it was Mikey Eye, and when I got there, they gave me Silex, which is fine. It's no big deal. But programming, going ahead and changing the approach here, I figured, okay, great, no problem. I'll just change the approach. So I changed the approach, and it goes in, wants to take me back halfway to, I would like to say it was POM. And which was probably 15 nautical miles back, and it was painful. And then when I got back, the the new approach, apparently ATC did not share with me because of the double back. I crossed over from, I would like to say it was LA Center to whatever that is out there in Las Vegas. Well, I think Las Vegas. And so coming back, when I get back in their airspace, nothing, just no communication at all. And it's like, oh God, someone didn't, I didn't transition correctly, or something happened that just screwed everything up. So at the end of the day, it was terrible, and I had to kill the flight or run into the side of a mountain, based on the new waypoints that I was looking at in the flight plan. It was terrible. So flight planning has got some work, and I hope they do that quickly. Okay, here we go for 127.1. So I already have that programmed in, and so we'll get Los Angeles Center.
Los Angeles Center, Arden Air 1710, 14,000
124.15.
Arden Air 1710, Los Angeles Center. Continue to NBWAY as planned. Altimeter 29.902.
2992. Good, got it. .15. Okay, we'll be coming up on midway soon. Okay. I didn't look at the checklist before now because I do all this anyway. Check my flight instruments, make sure my oil temperature is still good, fuel quantity, it's balanced, as you can see. Actually, it isn't balanced. What the heck? Can you believe that? See, that's one of those things. As I was talking, that's like one of the things that gets changed. Yeah, so we got to figure out how to take voice commands off of this thing, because that is amazingly crazy. So I'll monitor those and make sure that they balance out here over the next few minutes, and then hopefully get back to normal. I guess I should just watch my mouth. Kind of crazy that it would do that, but that's the reason for checklists.
China Southern, 443, you are 81 miles northwest. Descend and maintain 13,000 feet. Keep speed below 270 knots. Expect ILS runway 24 right approach via CRCUS transition. Cleared to CRCUS.
You'll notice I very rarely go outside of the airplane. I'm in it for some level of realism.
Expect ILS runway 24 right approach via CRCUS transition. Cleared to CRCUS China Southern 443. China Southern 443.
It's interesting. I feel like they're making tweaks all along the way to the sim, because you know, even just 2-3 days ago, when banking this particular plane, this is my favorite, by the way, the Grand Caravan. It was excuse me, it was just going crazy with the banking. I mean, honestly, I would always have to turn on half bank mode to prevent it from just kind of going all over the sky. And now I don't have to. It's like something changed in the last couple of days, which is great. I mean, as long as the physics work, I'm okay with it. Still have 80 pounds. 80 pounds. Oh my god, they are nuts. Are you kidding me? Do you see that? It says, let me zoom in here. Look. See that? Outside air temperature, minus 12 degrees Celsius. Are they nuts? So yeah, there's still some issues, but it's still the very best, because honestly I still have like I'm looking at right now my Microsoft Flight Simulator FSX and I liked it. It was good. It was okay, but was it like this? Was I like crazy for it? No, not at all. This super crazy for. I've already put in 85 hours in this sim. And it's been out for like a month and a week. So like 5 weeks. I spent many hours playing it. Using it, not playing it. Cores. We are in Oakland Center territory. Be nice if I could use COM 2, but I guess that's a future enhancement, cause it's not working right now. Can't wait to get my Bravo throttle quadrant, cause it is going to be wonderful. Then I'm gonna have to buy a second panel. Oh, then I have to get a doggone new stand for my monitor, something to raise it up. Right now I'd have to look over both the alpha and the PFD. And if I got when I get the Bravo pre-ordered, still it's not oh my god, it really is. Can you believe this?
13,000 feet. Keep speed below 270 knots. Expect ILS runway 24 right approach via CRCUS transition. Cleared to CRCUS. Descend and maintain 13,000 feet. Keep speed below 270 knots. Expect ILS runway 24 right approach via CRCUS transition. Cleared to CRCUS SkyWest 3572.
Sorry I do the Windows thing, having the checklist and all that stuff open, but I really like having access to as much information as possible. Honestly, I would have opened that flight display up as well but I think it puts too much on screen. Like it takes up too much real estate. £33 to go, and then I can turn that guy back on. I like this aircraft because it's not complicated. You know, I mean, I like the airliners, but they're not for me. They're fun, but I don't want to go into JFK on one of those things. I would much rather fly this into Vegas or into Oakland. I'll do a long trip one day. In an airliner. I have to do it anyway to get some of the achievements. So, one day, once I'm proficient. And I think once they get most of the bugs worked out, because I am super duper reliant on these instruments, these glass cockpits, and if it's not working, truth is, I'm something like a 747 or an A320, I am just not gonna know what to do. I'll just be pushing random buttons. I did a flight recently in the Citation CJ4 out in where was I? Mauritania. And I went to go see the recot structure. And first of all, there's nothing out there but desert. So here I am in this jet that quite honestly, that was the first time that I decided to step into the thing. And I'm taking off from this airport because there's like 3 airports out there, and it looked like there were like 3 airports out there from the VFR map, and they were I'm sorry, from the world map, and it looked like they were just so far apart, and they were. I mean, they were just out there in the middle of nowhere. And so I picked the one that I thought was closest, and it was still like still like an hour okay, maybe not an hour, maybe it was more like 30, 40 minutes to get there. But it was still 30 or 40 minutes to get there. And all the while, there's this learning curve for the CJ4, so I'm learning to fly this aircraft as I'm flying it. But at the same time, having that glass cockpit made it so much easier because I kind of knew how to navigate it. Once you found the correct button, it's just like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Yeah, I got it. But that's about as complicated as I want to get in terms of overall systems. So I got 4 pounds to go, and I can turn that other tank back on. 3 pounds to go, and I can turn the other tank back on. That's one of the things that went off. So when you hear the clicking, mental note, look for stuff that's wrong. There we go. Okay. We're still 12 nautical miles from Corez. We're all set for Sacramento. I'm not screwing with the flight plan as much as I might want to, 'cause if I do, I'll be stranded yet again, and not trying to be stranded. I cannot believe how relaxing this is. This is such a relaxing hobby. I highly recommend it. This is so much fun. I haven't figured out how to turn off obviously I know how to turn off the ATC window, but so sometimes when you're responding, there are several different options, and I just don't know. I really only want to use, because I'm responding just using the button on my yoke, and I'd really love to keep doing that rather than trying to have to say, oh, let's choose number 4 or number 3. I would like that first option to always be the preferred option for whatever it is I'm doing, and there's just no meaningful way to do that. So that's kind of a bummer, and that's kind of the reason why I still have that ATC window open. I would like very much to not have it open, but until such time as I can figure out how to get those responses that I want without seeing it, it has to stay open. Kind of a bummer. Okay, cool. I actually have a hard copy of the checklist. I've got this ultra wide monitor, so I'm not really losing anything by having that single tiny little strip up there that I pull down occasionally to validate my checklist. I almost don't see it anymore. Like the ATC screen. I honestly, I mean, I know it's there and I'm looking at it, but it's just for me. I glance over there when I need it, and I essentially ignore it the rest of the time. Let's see what's going on outside. Look at that. We are over the Central Valley. Hello, Central Valley. This icing is kind of wigging me out. I might ask for a new flight level, or a new altitude, not flight level. I'll see how it's slowing me down or not. It doesn't appear to be right now. So I think after Ave is CCR. No. We have a couple more. Oh yeah. Oh, here we go. Wish me luck. Okay, so there's CCR. Ave Pixon. Okay. Okay, we're close. Okay. I am losing speed. You see those are backwards, right? See, it says max flow to airframe here, but the button actually has it at max flow to windshield. And so if you set max flow down here to windshield, then it actually is for the airframe. Okay, I'm gonna ask for a. Let's go to 12,000
Los
feet.
Angeles Center Arden Air 1710. Request 12,000 feet.
Arden Air 1710, descend and maintain 12,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 12,000 feet. Arden Air
Okay,
1710.
so That is wonderful. So let's go ahead and get our vertical speed mode going, and let's do
Arden Air 1710, contact Los Angeles Center on ONE 24.15.
124.15 Arden Air 1710. Los Angeles Center Arden Air 1710.
okay, 128.7.
Arden Air 1710 Los Angeles Center. Continue to Alpha Victor Echo as planned. Altimeter 29.902.
Okay, I think that's probably better. I don't see any windshield icing. That was super scary because I was starting to lose, as you could see, I was starting to lose speed. And you see my outside air temperature now is -8 degrees Celsius, not -12 degrees Celsius. So that shaved off a little bit and gave me a bit of control back. Coming up on Ave.
Wingspan 20, contact Oakland Center on 128.7.
That's where we're going next, 1287.
Going to ONE 28.7, wingspan 20.
Okay, and you can see we've got some speed back now. It's actually picking up quite a bit. And I'm going to pull off a little bit. I don't like going. I know the cruising speed's 194. I don't like going that fast. So I'm okay with 175 roughly. Texan in 75 nautical miles. Or Pop X-Ray November.